Hey everyone, Fabulous Fish here.
And Katatsubi 101.
And recently, we put out a quiz about our Tomodachi Life series where one person who got the highest score first would be a lucky winner chosen to join us in a special episode to bring in Season 2 of Let's Play Tomodachi Life, the Treft Island Saga.
Yep.
Now, at this point in time, the quiz is done. The deadline was yesterday at the time of recording this. I think it'll be 2 days ago when this actually goes up.
Yeah.
And so the winner has already been chosen. We've already reached out to them, so we're going to set up and see what happens with that. But today, I figured that Katie and I should kind of go through the quiz, see the different responses, and just kind of go over what the correct answers were for some of these questions.
Yeah.
If you'd like to see this, all you have to do is find a link to the quiz again. There's one on my Discord server, as well as one in the description of this video. Click on that, and then click See Previous Responses. This will actually bring up like charts and graphs about all the different responses that were entered on this quiz.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, so the quiz was always given in a random order, which means that the order you see here won't necessarily be the order you fill out the questions in. Additionally, the multiple choice answers were randomly shuffled too.
Right, yeah.
Just so that way there wouldn't be any like patterns or biases.
Yeah.
So I had this set up so that the first section here would be questions based on content found within the Tomodachi Life series. So everything on this section here is something that could be answered if you had paid really close attention to the series. I'm aware that some of these are obscure facts. The whole point is supposed to be that like it's difficult to get a perfect score on because we're giving it to, the highest score.
Yeah, right.
Whoever was the highest score first. Which means if someone else were to tie with someone, that wouldn't matter. Whoever got it first would be the one chosen. But if someone were to pass someone else, then they'd be the next winner.
Right.
So like that. And now that said, I did not compensate for what would happen if we got two equally high scores submitted at the same time. As unlikely as it is, that it would technically have been a possibility. So if I ever do something like this in the future, I'll have to have some kind of tiebreaker idea worked out.
Yeah, have some kind of big question.
But that said, I don't think that's very likely given that they'd have to click it on like the same second to submit it and have like the same internet speed or whatever. So let's go over some of the questions. So this first one here is, who was Neb's high school sweetheart?
A lot of people got that right.
Yeah, most people got that right. That is in fact Dry Skink. That was mentioned in Dry Skink's bio that she had dated Neb previously in high school.
Yeah.
A number of people put down Kato. I can see why. Mm-hmm. Kato is, of course, Neb's wife, but they are not high school sweethearts. I believe he met Kato at the gym when they were in their 20s.
Yeah, I think
that's
so.
the current canon we have written down somewhere.
After Neb graduated community college.
But what I find kind of funny is someone put down Bree.
What?
Yes, Bree from the Windstriders, Neb's wife.
No, his high school sweetheart. He obviously knew Bree.
At least everyone knew it wasn't Dakota.
Yeah, thank God.
So the second one here, this one was pretty divisive. This is how many weddings has Treft Island had. The correct answer is 4. Mm-hmm. We had Neb and Kato, Daniel and Camille, Bree and Percy, and Dakota and James.
Yes.
A lot of people said 3.
I wonder who they were missing.
I'm not sure who they're missing. I know that there's one episode that had 2 weddings in it.
Oh, that could have thrown some people off.
Yeah, but I may have thrown some people off. I think I've forgotten that episode had 2 in it.
Yeah.
And then someone said 1. 2 people said 1. There are more than one houses there, but I guess if you're not familiar with the mechanics of Tomodachi Life, you may not realize that the houses only appear after a couple gets married.
Yeah. They might have also been looking at the thumbnails too, and only one of our thumbnails has a wedding in it.
Yeah,
so.
if they hadn't remembered what happened previously in the series, maybe just scroll through the thumbnails oh, that one has a wedding.
Yeah.
So I could see that. I was just a little surprised to see the one. I wasn't expecting that. Mm-hmm. So this one here is interesting. That is, who is the oldest character on Treft Island? You can see the options over there.
Alberto Roberto.
Yeah, Alberto Roberto being the only one so far to be more than 100 years old. Although technically, I think the whale in his official Tomodachi Life bio, in his bio, it said he was 30 or something.
Yeah.
But in his in-game bio, his birthday is set to 1904.
My God.
But I wasn't counting that because you wouldn't know that from watching the series.
Yeah.
That's because the birth years are more or less random that I put down for my personal file for Freaks, so those aren't really I guess you could kind of say Tomodachi Life is a time-traveling series.
Yeah.
The whale lived from 1903 or whatever, and lived his life and then died of old age. But in Tomodachi Life, he's just still there alongside everyone else.
Right. I mean, yeah, the ages are kind of mixed up a little bit because obviously Dakota and Daniel don't exist at the same time.
Yeah, Daniel wouldn't be born for thousands of years after Dakota dies.
Yeah. Someone said Captain Crunk.
Yeah, Captain Crunk was picked by 2 people. That's kind of interesting.
Huh. She's only, 30-something.
Yeah, but she's one of the older characters.
Yeah.
And then Fred.
Fred!
I'm shocked to see 2 people pick Fred. He's 10.
Oh, no. Well, he acts like he's old.
Yeah, but he's 10. He's a child.
Oh, no.
He's the youngest character listed here.
Yeah.
So, interesting question. I'm curious to know why people picked Fred. Maybe it was because, he has such a deep voice and he's so tall and he's, lost in this existential crisis. I could see that. But the whole joke with him is that he's, 10. He's, way too young for an existential crisis.
Yeah.
So this one is, which of the following characters are fandom characters? Fandom characters being characters that come from a pre-existing franchise or series, so not characters we created. So that does not include Kay's graphic novel characters. That does not include the freaks I've created.
Yeah.
So the correct answers to this were Candace Flynn, Shaggy, Boris, and Alberto Roberto, who a lot of people I think forgot. He is technically a character from Sonic 06.
Yes.
A very minor character who appears in like the first 3 minutes of gameplay and then never again. But he is a fandom character. I'm interested to see that everyone got picked by at least one person, though.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So, like, Pooper? What franchise is Pooper from?
The Poop franchise. Poops are us.
I guess if someone wasn't, like, paying too close attention to the series, they could have thought I meant Fred from Scooby Doo.
Yeah, that could be.
So I could kind of see that, although, no, that's not Fred from Scooby Doo. Dakota, that's interesting. I wonder if people misinterpret the question, thought that because technically Dakota wasn't created for Tomodachi Life, she'd be fandom.
Yeah, I could see the confusion there, but she is technically an original character.
Yeah, no, we divide everything into three categories, and fandom only includes characters that neither of us created.
Yeah.
And that's separate from IRL. It's technically fourth category, IRL, which only was going to have 3 characters in it for the series, Josh being the first of them. And then this is interesting, Captain Crunk. I can totally see why.
Oh, yeah.
Her name is clearly based on Captain Crunch. That said, she is not Captain Crunch. She is a separate character. It's not like Alberto Roberto, which, like, we wrote a fan fiction for, like, this character.
Right.
She's a separate character.
Yeah.
I don't even know Captain Crunch exists in universe then.
Oh, no.
This one was a trick question that I'm sure tripped up a lot of people.
Yeah.
And this was, who was the first guest to appear in more than one episode? Most people picked Sensei Josh, which makes sense. He was, after all, in 2 episodes back-to-back, being episodes 12 and episodes 13, being the first character to appear as a guest for the entirety of 2 episodes.
Right.
That is not true. However, he was not the first guest to appear in 2 episodes. Some people said Tenny Box, which I think he was only in 1 so far.
Yeah, he was only in 1.
Someone said Jason, which I'm a little surprised by. The correct answer, actually, only gone by one person, was Pokemon Sextuple. She actually appeared in an episode in between the one where she appeared primarily and Josh's episode.
Yeah.
She appeared for about 5 minutes to help us write a song.
Yeah.
Note this does not say who was the first guest to host more than one episode, whatever.
Yeah.
It's just who was the first guest to appear in more than one episode from this list, and that would be Emma.
Yes, she did appear.
So a lot of people tripped up by that. I kind of expect a lot of people would put down Sensei Josh.
Yeah, that's a good question.
I could also see maybe people put down Tenny because they may have misinterpreted who was the first guest to appear with another guest.
Yeah.
Which would have been Tenny. And maybe that's why someone put down Jason because they forgot Tenny did that.
Right, yeah. Gotta read those questions carefully.
Nope, gotta be careful. Now this one, I was interested by too. Ignore this answer. That was a joke answer that I put down when I was doing my test to go through this all.
Nice.
This is how many episodes were Josh and Sarah dating for? And there was small text under it that clarified. This includes the episode where they started dating and the episode where they broke up.
Yeah.
So someone said 1, someone said 4, and someone said 5. Those are all wrong. The correct answer is 7.
Yeah, they were dating for a long time.
Now that said, a lot of people picked 6, and do you know why?
Why?
They started dating in episode 14 and ended in episode 20. If you were to take 20 and subtract 14, you get 6. I see why people thought that. But count them out. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That's 7 episodes.
Yeah.
It's one of those weird things where, when you subtract it, it's one number, but if you count them out, you also have to include, the starting and end point, which you don't necessarily do with subtraction. So, it's kind of odd little quirk with math. That always bothered me when I was, a third grader.
Yeah.
And I wasn't doing math when I was 3. Goddamn. My brain was a lot smarter when I was in 3rd grade than it is now. My brain is fried these days.
I mean, I feel that.
But no, the correct answer there is 7.
Yeah.
A lot of people were tripped up by that one. I can totally see why. Who was the first character to sing a song on Treft Island? That should be easy. The answer is Pooper. He's only on the thumbnail.
Yeah, singing his little ballad.
A lot of people said Neb. I guess I could see why he was the first character introduced, and then I thought he sung a song first.
Yeah, and he has the most songs out of anyone right now.
That's true, he does. Someone said Boris, which... Boris was introduced in, episode 17.
Yeah, we had a few songs by then.
And someone said Bree. Bree was the second song, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, I think she was. It was either her or Neb, I don't remember.
Yes, I can understand that too if you missed Pooper, although he is on, the thumbnail of that one episode.
Yeah.
This is interesting too. Who was the main character in the Windstriders? I expect a lot of people put down Daniel.
Yeah.
Daniel's not the main character from the Windstriders.
No, he is not.
We've said this a few times in the series, but the main character from Windstriders has actually not been added to Tomodachi Life yet, and for reasons you'll understand why in the next season.
Yeah.
So most people got that. I expected some people to be tripped up by that. Daniel does seem like the main character if you don't know better.
Yeah.
I told you he is the leader of the Windstriders squadron. He is a very prominent character in the series. That said, he is not the main character. The story does not focus on Daniel. There's one specific character the story follows, and it's not Daniel.
Yeah. We'll
And then-
find out more about that.
What I found interesting is 2 people said Bree.
Bree.
Bree's not even that important to the story.
No, like I didn't even draw her on the Windstrider's banner.
Because she's like
sketch
not
they made.
that relevant to the main series,
Yeah.
honestly. Same thing with Percy. He's not on that banner either.
Should I just like make a spin-off series called Bree?
The Bree saga.
Bree in biology.
There are 2 people who said her.
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
I'm so confused by that.
And then 3 people said Daniel, which
Yeah, makes sense.
makes sense.
And this one I knew also tripped up a lot of people, and that is, which of the following characters has a dietary restriction in Tomodachi Life? Mm-hmm. So Sensei Josh people got, that was obvious. Sensei Josh is, of course, a vegetarian, which we are keeping intact in Tomodachi Life. I guess Captain Crunch, people thought maybe she can only eat cereal.
Yeah.
Everyone knew it wasn't Fred. And a lot of people said Shaggy. Shaggy is not a vegetarian in Tomodachi Life. Mm-hmm. Shaggy's been a vegetarian very inconsistently in Scooby Doo. He wasn't a vegetarian for the first 30 years of the show. He was for a brief window in the 2000s when Casey Kasem was playing him again, and then he stopped again. Shaggy has not been a vegetarian for that long in Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
As a result of that, we're not making him a vegetarian in Tomodachi Life. It's been largely inconsistent in Scooby Doo, and he spent more time not being a vegetarian than he has being one. Mm-hmm. I can totally see why people thought that, but we did address this when we issue Shaggy that he's allowed to eat meat in our series.
Yeah.
The other answer is actually Dakota.
Dakota with her peanut allergy.
Yep, we mentioned this in her bio, and I think a few times in the series that she has a peanut allergy, therefore dietary restriction.
Yeah.
So those are the 2 correct answers. Most people missed that. Most people put Josh and Shaggy. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure almost everyone got Josh. A few people missed Josh altogether.
Oh.
Which I guess could make sense too. I think we only mentioned it like once with him.
Yeah, that's true.
So I can see that. And then finally, this is, which of the following characters were shown off in someone else's bio before they were added to Treft Island?
This is tricky.
This is a tricky question. The answer is almost everyone. David, Kate, Camille, Sam, and Sarah.
Yes.
Dakota was not shown off before her own bio.
Yeah, she was like the first graphic novel character to be introduced.
Yes.
So.
However, at the very beginning of Dakota's bio, you see this big circle with the other Cambridge Circle main characters in it. Mm-hmm. That being where David, Kate, Sam, and Sarah are all shown off.
Yeah.
James is also shown off there, though he is not on this multiple choice because I was just picking random characters.
Yeah, and we were including drawings and me's that
Yes.
were being shown off.
And similarly, Camille is shown off in Daniel's bio, both in the sketch banner, which I'll put on screen there, and I think a preliminary version of her me showed up there. It is actually different than the final version of her me.
Yeah.
It's not the same me there. That said, she is in the banner there. I think a lot of people put, I'm surprised by why people put Percy and Nazme put Bree.
Yeah.
That said, Bree and Percy are not in that banner, therefore they were not shown off before her bio. I think people picked Percy because they may interpret this question as who was shown off with someone else's bio in the same bio.
That could be.
Bree and Percy did share a bio. That said, I'm considering that both of their bios, so it's not like Percy was shown off in Bree's bio. It was the same bio that they both mutually shared. Mm-hmm. So I can understand the confusion there, but no, they are not correct, and then Dakota's not correct. Surprisingly, one person got David, though.
Yeah. That was pretty good.
And then that was it for the main questions. So those are the questions that could be answered throughout the series. I figured that those would be fairly even. There were a lot of people got the same score in this category. It was mostly the same few questions missed, like the dietary restrictions, who was the first guest to appear twice.
Yeah,
That's why I included the second section, and this is bonus points. These are all questions that are not available to be answered through Tomodachi Life, the series.
Yeah, this is all kind of critical thinking.
Critical thinking, deduction, and luck. Now we're going to go through these. That said, we're probably not going to reveal the answer to most of these because most of these are stuff we can't due to spoiler reasons.
Yeah.
So this first question here is, who from the main cast of Cambridge Circle is LGBT? What I find interesting is only 11 people picked Sam out of the 15 responses.
Sam, who we like outright
Yeah,
confirmed.
the
is
only
bi.
character on this list who we've explicitly confirmed is LGBT. I just find it interesting that almost everyone thinks James is straight.
Yeah, I mean, he
He does look like a spitting image of a straight man.
Yeah.
Also, detectives, this is a list of the Cambridge Circle cast, if you're looking for that.
Indeed it is.
Of the main 9, try to picture who was who on the circle. That's it. I think most of them are already added.
Yeah.
So a number of people thought Dakota. A number of people thought Kate.
I mean, she kind of looks like a lipstick stereotype.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of people picked Sarah. Brooke was pretty common. David was pretty common. Garrett was very common.
Yeah.
And then Chris and James were like a little under the rest.
Yeah, yeah.
So interesting to see what people think. It's kind of interesting every character was picked by more than one person.
Yeah, no, that's definitely interesting to see. As a character designer,
yeah.
especially.
Unfortunately, this isn't being shown off here properly, although there was small text under each of these questions to elaborate further, and the small text for this question specified that 2 characters are bi and 2 are gay, and then the rest are all straight. So a total of 4 answers for this question. Sam is the only one we're directly confirming right here.
Yeah.
Remember, looks can be deceiving. Be careful who you pick based on their design. Katie is specifically trying to avoid common predictable tropes, but that information will be elaborated on more in the actual series of Cambridge Circle.
Yes.
The next question, I found this really funny too, is who would Sam be unable to seduce from Cambridge Circle? I think every character, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, someone wasn't picked.
Who wasn't picked?
No one picked Chris. Everyone thought Chris could be seduced. So this is in reference to Sam's bio, where he mentioned that Sam could probably seduce everyone from the Cambridge Circle with one exception under the right circumstances.
Yeah.
What I find very interesting is a lot of people said Dakota was LGBT here. And a lot of those same people said Dakota's the one Sam couldn't seduce.
Maybe they're thinking because she's so ditzy, she wouldn't notice that Sam was coming on to her. That could be like what they're thinking. I don't know.
I guess. I just thought it was interesting that so many people said Dakota can't be straight. But then those same people also were saying Dakota won't be able to be seduced by Sam.
Yeah, it's kind of funny though.
But yeah, interesting questions. Our answer's still a secret for now, of course.
Yeah, I know the answer.
I would hope. And then this one here was fun.
Yeah.
This is, which LPs on my channel do you think will be represented by a Tomodachi Life character? And this elaborated in the small text that Shaggy was picked to represent the Let's Play of 900 Frights. There are, of the other series on my channel, exactly 10 more characters who were picked to represent a Let's Play series. It was kind of implied by this question, though not directly confirmed, that every series that's represented will only get 1 character to represent it. You will not see another 900 Frights rep. You will not see 2 reps from this series or that series.
Yeah. There
are 20 series listed out here, and it's kind of interesting to see what people thought for this, like which series will get representation. So there's Battle for Bikini Bottom, Manui Online Game, Luigi's Mansion, Bionicle the Game, Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus, Super Mario Galaxy, Nicktoons Unite, SpongeBob Lights Camera Pants, Piglet's Big Game, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, Yoshi's Island, Scooby Doo Mystery Mayhem, Madagascar, Scooby Doo and the Cyber Chase, Toy Story 2, Mario Party 8, Pets Cats 2, those are all main series Let's Plays, and then a few side projects, Xenoblade Chronicles, The Road to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and then one other category that just represents like everything else on the channel. So if someone is picked from this other category, it'll only be 1 character. You won't get more than 1 from like this other category. So take notes for that too, detectives.
Yes.
So I find interesting here is that Piglet's Big Game and Minogue were like unanimously the most picked ones.
Yeah.
And as the trailer recently showed off, there's definitely some representation there to be seen. Other stuff I find interesting is a lot of people are picking Battle for Bikini Bottom, I assume because of Joe White Crabs.
Yeah, that's probably what people are thinking.
A lot of people pick Luigi Mansion. It's a game I like a lot. Almost no one picked Bionicle the Game, which kind of makes sense because I don't think there's a single character in the game who isn't also a Minogue, and Minogue's just a straight up better game.
Yeah.
And also a more recent Let's Play. A number of people picked Sly Cooper. Galaxy wasn't as popular, Nicktoons Unite wasn't as popular. I'm kind of shocked Lights Camera Pants wasn't as popular, seeing as in like the first 5 minutes of the Lights Camera Pants stream, I outright said is going to get representation with a character.
Yeah.
I guess people just didn't see that.
Could have glossed over that.
Yeah, but like, I feel like that one should have been a free point.
Free space.
Piglet's Big Game, that makes sense. One of the most popular series on the channel.
Yeah.
I did recently the Fishbowl on it too. And that said, okay, here's the thing I need to point out. A lot of people seem to think that Piglet and Pig Glow are the same character.
They are not.
Go back and rewatch that series. I know it's a painful series, hard to get through. Pig Glow is not Piglet. Piglet is also known as the Pig. He's the brave-faced doing serial killer who takes over the 100-acre woods. Pig Glow is his cousin who's like brain dead.
He just looks like a freak.
Yeah, he's not evil or violent or dangerous. Pig Glow is just an idiot.
Yeah.
Don't confuse the two. They're 2 separate characters.
I realize he looks like a gremlin, but he's not mean.
He's just a weirdo.
Yeah.
Piglet is the one you have to avoid.
Yes.
Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, interesting. Yoshi's Island. I'm surprised Yoshi's Island has like so few votes.
Yeah.
Being, it's one of my favorite games of all time. Scooby Doo Mystery Mayhem. I'm surprised to see more people pick Scooby Doo Mystery Mayhem over Scooby Doo and the Cyber Chase. A series that I said underperformed on a game I hated that has like nothing interesting about it. And it's also several years old and has aged really poorly.
Oh no.
I'm surprised that more people pick that over Cyber Chase, a game which I enjoy, have nostalgic value for, and I think is a much better Let's Play, honestly.
Yeah.
No knock against Josh. It was just like I was younger, and Josh and I were really awkward with each other during that. Josh and I both looked back at the Mr. Mayhem series and said, like, we could totally do that better today.
Yeah, I'm sure you could.
I was just kind of shocked to see that. Again, I'm not making comments towards, like, what is or isn't more likely. I'm just making comments based on, like, what people vote. As you should know by now, I picked the unexpected. No one saw Boris Caillou's dad coming, or Alberto Roberto.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just making like comments that I'm surprised, but the only thing I've explicitly confirmed is, well, you know, that one.
Right.
Madagascar is a pretty popular series. I can see that. Toy Story 2, that the series didn't do too well, so I could kind of see that being ignored. Mario Party 8 was very popular. I guess people didn't think it was likely just due to the fact that there's not really a memorable cast for Mario Party 8 that isn't featured in other games elsewhere.
Yeah.
Pets Cats 2, yeah, being a very recent series. I think there's pretty obvious representative from this game that people are looking towards.
Yeah.
Xenoblade, that makes sense. Xenoblade was, after all, one of the biggest series on my channel. Definitely the biggest in terms of scale, being, you know, 42 hours long and 135 episodes.
Yeah, and a lot of great characters in Xenoblade.
A lot of great characters for sure there. So I was definitely expecting that one to get a lot of votes. Not surprised there. I'm a little surprised Road to Smash Ultimate wasn't as big as I expected. There's such a big cast in Smash.
Yeah.
I guess it's because that series was very, like, for its time.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
if you weren't a part of the channel during that period from, like, summer 2018 to the launch of Smash Ultimate, I could see you kind of glossing over that series now. I feel like it was just kind of a safe bet for people to put down others that cover so much on the channel.
Yeah, it could be like anything.
So I could totally see that. Yeah, like I said, don't necessarily read into my comments about these games. Just because Luigi's Mansion and Yoshi's Island are like two of my favorite games ever doesn't necessarily mean they'll be represented.
Right.
As you should know by now, the first thing I do when picking representatives for series is decide what can this character bring to the table, not what series do I want to have representation in Tomodachi Life. You know. I didn't pick Shaggy because Knife Under Fights was a big series on my channel and the game I grew up with. I picked Shaggy because the Secret Agent idea was funny.
Yeah.
Had we not done the Secret Agent idea, I cannot guarantee that Shaggy would have been in the series, despite Knife Under Fights being, you know, the most popular thing on my channel. So don't necessarily read into that. Popularity does not equate to likelihood of being added. Think about what specific characters could bring to the table. That's more what I look for when I choose them. But it was interesting to see everyone's thoughts here. I'm not using this data for anything. The cast has already been decided for Tomodachi Life. But it's just interesting to see like what people thought was likely.
Yeah, definitely.
Now here's something I gotta comment on, and that is, who do you believe the second Scooby Doo rep will be? I have confirmed there will be one other character from the Scooby Doo franchise. And it's very interesting to see the sheer variety in responses we got here.
Yeah, we got
Daphne, Fred, Mr. Wickles, the Mystery Machine, which is by far my favorite answer, by the way.
Same.
Redbeard, Scrappy Doo, Shaggy, again, even though he's already in it.
The
Mastermind, a lot of people said Velma. Redacted, which was actually Katie's answer.
Yeah.
And Velma again. Okay, I just want to make a few quick comments on this. First off, whoever said Mystery Machine, you are a beautiful individual. That is, I wish I was smart enough to come up with that.
Yeah, same.
I really wish I came up with that. Second, who the fuck said Shaggy? He's already in the series.
Like, I don't know.
Third, it's safe to assume that the Mastermind and Redbeard are off the table on account of the fact that Shaggy represents Knife Under Fight series. I'm not going to pick anything else that would represent Knife Under Fights. Not saying that necessarily the second Scooby Doo will represent a game, mind you. They could not. It could just be a character I like from the show, or it could be someone specifically represent a Let's Play. That's up to you to figure out. It's just that the Mastermind and Redbeard are very unlikely due to circumstances surrounding them. That said, I'm kind of surprised to see Daphne. She was a very popular pick when you first showed off some of the preliminary art. You showed off the Candace Flynn art.
A lot of people thought that the Candace art was Daphne.
A lot of people jumped to that conclusion, which I think is really weird, because like we had just introduced Shaggy, so it should have been safe to assume there wasn't going to be another Scooby-Doo character for like 50 episodes at least.
Yeah.
And second, it's like, why Daphne? What does she bring? We already introduced in season 1 2 thoughts. And on top of that, we have one more thought coming in each season.
Yeah.
It's like, but each of those thoughts has something unique about them. You know, like, Sam's not just a thought, she's also the thought she's going out of her way to do all her friends.
Yeah.
Bree has reasons. You know, each of the other 3 thoughts we picked specifically not just because they're a thought, because they have something unique to bring to the table as a thought.
Yeah, Daphne's just kind of like...
Daphne is the most generic thought there is. What could she possibly bring to this series that couldn't be represented by a better thought?
Yeah, she's very cute, but...
But like, that's it. And so we're playing other girls. And then Velma's the same way. Why is she so popular? I'm shocked that Fred only got 1 vote, being that he's your favorite Scooby-Doo character.
I love Fred. He's my tool.
And Velma has so many. It's like, I'm not criticizing people for this. I'm just like, what are people expecting Velma for? What could she bring to the table that couldn't be brought by a different character? Every character picked has something unique about them. I'm not picking characters just because they're popular or whatever. Case in point, I wouldn't have picked Alberto Roberto over, Sonic the Hedgehog if I was going for popularity.
Right.
I'm going for what the character can bring to the table. I should probably put this out here. Why are everyone assuming that's going to be another gang member?
That's something to think about.
Why would I pick 2 members from the gang? If I'm doing that, it would be Shaggy and Scooby.
Yeah.
But no one picked Scooby here.
Yeah, there's no Scooby.
People picked Daphne, Fred, and Velma. Why would I do, like, Shaggy and Velma? I know there's that really dumb ship from Mystery Incorporated, but I try to pretend that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm always intrigued to see, like, what other people's thought process is. So, like, if you have a thought process relating to this, please let me know. I'd love to know what's going on in your mind. I'm just curious about that. But I was just so surprised to see like 5 different Velma entries here.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, like maybe there's something about her character I'm missing, because like people assume I'm this big Scooby Doo fan. It's like I don't give a shit about that series at all. I say there's literally a Scooby Doo blanket making this blanket for what we're recording in, but it's like that's something I've had since like kindergarten.
It's more like when you were a little kid.
Yeah, the only thing I've seen from Scooby Doo in like the last decade was like the first 3 episodes of Where Are You with Katie, and then Zombie Island for the Fishbowl, and then the stuff I played on my channel. I don't care about the franchise at all. I don't give a shit about it. The original Never Ending Fright Let's Play and all the tension it got made me hate the series.
It's like my favorite thing about Scooby-Doo is Skooks.
Yeah.
And that's like not even the actual show.
Yeah, like, so I'm so surprised that everyone picking all these safe characters and stuff. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be something more wild, you know that.
Yeah.
And then finally, last question, which one person got wrong, by the way.
What?
Who was Best Girl? The answer's Kate. One person got that wrong and missed out on the like 2 points it offered.
Did they just leave it blank?
Yeah, he said he didn't think it was a real question. Like, why not? It's on the quiz.
That's kind of funny.
Would it have hurt you to take 10 seconds to click it?
Oh my god.
And these are just the names of people, which I guess I'll blur out or whatever.
Yeah.
And that about wraps it up. Do you have any other thoughts you want to share with this quiz?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I thought this was a fun project. Like I said, the winner of this has already been chosen. We've reached out to them, and they will be able to join us in a future episode of Tomodachi Life, probably the start of Season 2, assuming all goes according to plan. Mm-hmm. And with that, let me know how you did. Let me know if you were surprised by any of the right answers to these questions. And detectives, have fun with this. I gave some hints here, but try not to read too hard on things I explicitly said weren't hints. Those weren't hints. One thing I think every detective needs to learn is that, like, I don't lie to you guys. Mm-hmm. If I say something's not relevant, it's not relevant. If I say something is relevant, it's definitely relevant.
Yeah.
So, have fun, and thank you all for watching. It's been Fabulous Fish.
Catatouille 101.
I hope to see you all tomorrow for the Tomodachi Life live stream. We'll see you then.
Bye-bye.